The idea yesterday, which was Sunday, was to record a bunch of videos for the week, and, you know, I had a full day off, and I was like, you know what, yeah, I got plenty of them, see how many I can get recorded, completely ignoring the fact that Lucas is going to come out and smash yesterday, and not a Lucas main, or nor was I really particularly excited. I'll always be excited about a new character, but just Lucas wasn't the one that got my go. And then they told me that Roy and Ryu and all the extra DLC that got leaked yesterday that got leaked on Saturday, officially came out yesterday, and I was like, well, now my wallet and my productivity for yesterday are shot, which is why I'm recording this early the next morning, because I did want to have it up today regardless. Just know that the only difference was I played a lot of Smash yesterday, and it was nice. So, he's going to go ahead and lead off with Arcanine. I'm going to lead off with Absol. And what the hell happened there? I don't know. I normally don't see lead Arcanine, which is kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. I forget how old this game is. It is months and months and months old, so if anything's weird and it doesn't look like it's Yu anymore, not that I really play a lot anymore. I don't play as often as I used to, that's for sure. But everything just looks like run-of-the-mill to me still, so I don't know. Anyways, I switch in Entei, and I don't like taking all those E-speeds, but I know a Banded Sacred Fire that's not intimidated should do a decent amount to a not defensive Arcanine, so that's going to be my way to test the waters and see what kind of Arcanine he is. Both the fact that his E-speed is actually a pretty solid 3-hit KO and the fact that a critical hit almost killed him means that he's probably offensive, but he switches after, you know, I think he was locked in on E-speed. It's because he switches out on Empoleon. Empoleon's not naturally faster than Arcanine at all, so if he wasn't banded, he could have just gone for close combat right there. And I kind of just went with a gamble there. You know, it was a weird thing to think it was a banded Arcanine, because I don't see that often, and, you know, to think it that early. But I was taking a lot of damage from Entei, so, you know, I don't know. It was just an inkling I had in the moment there. So, I'm going to go back into Entei, because I know if this thing is Mega Agility Ampharos, it's going to be good switch fodder, because I'm actually going to go ahead and get at least one good E-speed off as it agilities. And I do have a panic button in the form of Scarf Porygon Z. Timid Scarf Porygon Z is able to outspeed this thing after an agility and knock it out with Ice Beam. I think I just need a little bit of prior damage on it, and it turns out I get like half its HP off. So, you know, Ice Beam's going to be able to do the job just fine. So, knocks me out. Now, the thing is if I did not outspeed it with this thing, I would have lost. But thankfully I didn't, and that's why we're still here for the rest of the video, boys and girls. Because let me tell you, if that thing was able to get off another agility, nope, would not be having it. My team definitely does not come prepared for that kind of shit. So, the closest thing I would have had is like maybe Mega Absol with Sucker Punch, but I think I don't know. I feel like I stopped running Sucker Punch for some reason. But I don't want to go for Ice Beam on Snorlax. That's a really easy pursuit predict for him, and I think he's Assault Vest. I'm not sure what I thought he was before, but I go into Chestnut thinking that he's not going to have a lot of coverage moves in the first place, and I'm going to end up going for a substitute, completely ignoring the fact that these things can and often do carry Fire Punch. But I went ahead and went for a sub thinking that he was not going to want to hit me with a Body Slam, you know, thinking that I was going to be defensive. And it turns out that I am a defensive one. You know, I normally use a semi-offensive. I use a low sweep one is what I use. But this time around, I was actually using a full defensive one. And let me tell you, these things are actually pretty cool. It takes hits from just about anything, you know, physically defensive, as long as you're not running into Hyper Voice or anything like that, which is why it definitely does not belong in OU, let me tell you. As long as you're using it against, you know, fully physically catered walls, this thing is a fantastic wall. Maybe not the best typing, but it takes hits pretty well, and I love it. So, I just got Subseed, Spiky Shield, and Drain Punch, I think is my set. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep subbing until I can force this thing out. Because between subbing and seeding, I'm going to run out his own HP. I'm not sure how many of his things are banded and how many of his things are scarfed. But I'm going to assume right now that his Arcanine is banded. His Heracross is probably scarfed, and his Snorlax is Assault Vest. That's what I got from watching the video back one time before this, because it's been a long time since, you know, I got an inkling on that stuff. And I'm glad I'm not running Wood Hammer, because this thing would be quad resisting that. But I'm running Drain Punch just for a little bit of extra recovery, and, you know, there's not really a lot of things outside of Grass Poisons that are gonna, you know, be a hard counter. But I kind of shut him down with Sludge Bomb, you know, not being effective thanks to Bulletproof not being effective. Not actually having any effect at all. I'm completely immune to it because freaking this thing's bulletproof. So, oh my god, I haven't had my coffee this morning yet. I'm sorry. This is what I'm assuming is going to be Hidden Power Fire or Ice. Fire is my first notion there, and I believe I'm just going to go ahead and go for another substitute just to see what item he... no, wait, I already knew. I knew it wasn't Lefties or Black Sludge, but I guess I was just kind of scouting the rest of his moveset to see if he was only like mono attacking with Sludge Bomb, and then he ended up being like a defensive set or whatever. It turns out he's not, so he's got a couple attacks and he's fully offensive. Or he could still have Sleep Powder, now that I think about it. But I should have subbed down a few more times probably, just because that is a lot left, and I definitely could have played that a little bit more carefully, because I did want to take Roserade out with Chestnut. I would have just needed a couple more turns to take care of it, but I got a little careless, and I decided to go out into my Empoleon right here, thinking that a Hidden Power... See, the reason I wanted to do that was I wanted to have him die from using Hidden Power Fire, and I needed like maybe 1 or 2 more turns to make that happen, but it turns out he also does... So he Sleep Powder, Hidden Power Ice, Sludge Bomb, and I believe he has Giga Drain, which is what is going to kind of ruin my Empoleon's day a little bit here, because I don't think I'm going to wake up in time to really do anything, and he's going to get back a lot of HP in the process as well. It's going to be a lot to Chestnut because I don't want to Drain Punch it or anything like that, nor do I really have another way of answering it with it, and I've already lost my Entei to Mega Ampharos, so I'm trying to think about what a nice reliable switch to it would be, and it turns out I actually wake up and I'm able to Ice Beam it. I didn't think I was going to be able to Ice Beam it in time, but I think he predicted my switch back out into Chestnut to not want to take another Giga Drain, which is, you know, a sound thought process, but I was under the impression that, you know, I was going to die to another Giga Drain, and he was pretty safe in going for it. I don't think I was really going to get another reliable opportunity to wake up at all in the first place, so he goes for a not very effective Mega Horn, which he knows is going to knock me out anyway, and I think Mega Horn was his best move to lock himself in on, and I'm pretty sure because I am Scarf Timid Porygon-Z, I'm not getting the right download at all. I do like download over adaptability in those situations where you need to be using a different type of attack. It is just it's so much better. So he's onto the fact that I'm Scarfed like 100%, especially since Ampharos happened. Kind of hoping for status condition here. If I don't get it, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. But he keeps pursuing. They're really easy pursuits for him. I'm not going to keep going for Tri Attack on this thing, especially when it has, you know, it's... I'm under the impression that it is, in fact, Rest Talk, but I think we learned that it is not Rest Talk. I'm going to go for Sub as he instead goes for a... He goes for a Fire Punch right here. This is fine. He had not revealed it to me before, and what am I thinking here? Excuse me, I'm thinking I have to cough. I wasn't sure. What kind of Snorlax set this was, because I usually would have seen Body Slam by now. And did I go for Drain Punch or did I go for Sub here? I feel like I definitely went for Sub here because that is the kind of thing I would want to do. I would want to... Okay, never mind. I guess I went for Leech Seed expecting to get a lot of HP back from. I felt like I would have subbed just to gauge how much Fire Punch would have done to actually me, because it's just coming off of the Snorlax. And it is super effective damage, so I mean, it's not... But it's not Stab, and it's not coming off of a terribly high physically attack stat, so that's okay. But we get to see Spiky Shields here. I had never used it. Believe it or not, I had not used it until Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I had no reason to use a Chestnut or no motivation to use a fully defensive one. And come on, using Spiky Shield on Cacturne, that seems a little unreasonable, so let's not do that. I think I ended up going for a Sub here, and I'm going to take a Mega Horn, and it is surprisingly still going to hurt a decent amount. I'm like, what the hell happened? I've got like almost 400 defense, and I'm remembering it's a Heracross. It's nearly anything that isn't resisted coming off of a Heracross is going to hurt a pretty decent amount, but I figured I'd be able to take it nonetheless, and I go for another Sub, which is going to be enough to knock him out after Leech Seed. So Feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot with Chestnut, even after that 3 HP. Hell yeah, looking good. And I think what he has left is a Vaporeon and a Snorlax, so we're getting down to wall time. And I decide, I believe, to go for a Leech Seed because that is some fat HP. That's going to be a fat Vaporeon. It's going to give anything else on my team a good amount of HP off of the Leech Seed until it decides to switch back out into Snorlax. But Snorlax versus Chestnut, I feel like, is a very, very solid matchup for me. So as long as I keep Chestnut alive for that, I should be good to go. I just need a way to deal with Vaporeon, and I don't think I have a reliably high health Porygon Z to be able to do that, unfortunately, because I think I do have, I'm pretty sure I have T-Bolt on that guy, so I don't think I did the thing. I go for Spiky Shield though, not to get damage, just to get extra Leech Seed. Because Vaporeon, you know, has health, plenty of health to spare. And if I can take a free turn, I might as well get a free turn. It also scouts out whether or not he has a status condition. The one I'm mainly looking out for is Toxic. Actually, that would be the only one you would be scouting out for, because you go for Burns with Scald, and these things don't have T-Wave. So, gonna go out in Porygon Z here, I believe, as switch fodder / thinking he was going to Wish. And the shame is that I did get the special attack download. I think I just maybe did that switch too prematurely. I probably could have Drain Punched a little bit there, coaxed him into a Wish, and then switched out accordingly. But switch fodder is going to be switch fodder, so I might as well stick with those guns. So I still have Absol left, which is going to be my my Mega for the game, and I'm just going to go for a boosted knockoff because he still has his leftovers, and I want to see how much this does. Even if his Scald burns me, I'm still going to try to see how much I can do with the rest of my pokes. Turns out that, you know, knockoff is not really going to be doing that much, but I got Leech Seed going on, which is going to get me a little bit of HP back, and the important thing is it's going to push me over the halfway point, which is going to let me live the next one pretty comfortably, even, well, I don't know, unless he gets crit, is what I meant to say there, and I don't get a crit on there. I was fearing he was going to have the Protect on that one, but it turns out that the Leech Seed after the knockoff damage is actually going to be enough to knock him out, even if he did have the Protect. I've run into some that don't have it before you say that that's common sense. I've seen some that just play it really aggressively with Wish Toxic and 2 attacks. And then I think his last one here is Snorlax, and I do run Superpower, so I'm just going to be able to clean it up for a nice, what was that, 2-0 maybe? I don't know. I had Absol left, I had Chestnut left, and I don't remember what else I had left. Holy shit, I didn't even use on Mega. Okay, well, that was a game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, kind of straightforward UE match. Chestnut MVP, naturally. If you guys did enjoy it, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. You guys know how it goes. A little bit of a longer one, thanks to Chestnut, but that's to be expected. Anyways, that'll do it out of me, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.